In this video, I'm going to walk you through your 6-step plan to lose 15 pounds of fat in a sustainable fashion so you don't have to do it again and you could easily maintain the results afterward. If you end up finding this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already, and then comment below what you ate for breakfast. This video is chaptered down below so that you can go to parts where you need to come back to or take notes on, but there's no fluff in this video, so don't skip around. If you're trying to actually lose 15 pounds of fat, this plan will get you there. Maybe you're wondering why I chose the 15 pounds of fat, right? Why not just how to lose fat? Well, I'm about to start my own fat loss phase right now for about 12 weeks, aiming to lose around 15 pounds. I just went through 6 months of intentionally gaining weight. I cut it 2 months short because I am feeling a bit fluffy. My clothes are super tight and it's getting a bit uncomfortable to wear my favorite pair of shorts, for example. I'm about 185 pounds right now. My last bulk was for 7 or 8 months and I got up to 175, so 10 more pounds. So I'm gonna try to cut down to maybe 170, 165 to 175, somewhere in that range. So I'm gonna share my plan for losing 15 pounds in the next 12 weeks so that if you're trying to go on a fat loss journey soon or in the future, you can come back to this video and have a plan for yourself on how you're going to execute on that. Step 1, calories and protein. You'll need a digital food scale and the free version of MyFitnessPal. This is how you're going to ensure your accuracy with how much calories you're putting into your body. This is going to be for the best results possible. You don't have to track calories, but if you want the best results possible, it's going to be very smart to do so. Now, if you already know what your maintenance calories are, right, the amount of calories it takes for your body to maintain its weight, that's going to be great because then you'll be able to plan for future refeeds or diet breaks, and you could just subtract 300 to 500 calories from that number and have your deficit. If you don't know your maintenance calories, you could just find an online calculator and use that as an estimate and then test it out for 1 to 3 weeks, trying to find a 100-calorie range where you're maintaining your weight. So if your weight's going up, you can decrease calories. If your weight's going down, you can increase calories until you find that calorie range where you're maintaining your weight. That's why it's going to take 1 to 3 weeks. If you have no interest in finding your maintenance calories and you just want to hop straight into a deficit after you watch this video, then you could do this. You're going to take your goal body weight and multiply that by 12. So I'm just going to use 165 pounds as the example. So 165 times 12 is 1,980. I'm just going to do 1,900 to 2,000 calories. And that number, that range, that 100 calorie range is going to be your starting deficit. Later on, we'll go through how to adjust that for the best results possible. But right now, let's go into protein and then through the rest of the steps before we get to that. So to find your protein, you're just going to take your goal body weight times 1. That's going to be your goal. But if you have trouble hitting that, it's still okay to get, say, 0.7 or 0.8 times your goal body weight. So 165 times 0.8 is 132 grams of protein per day. 165 times 1 is 165. So my protein range would be 132 grams to 165 grams of protein per day. But I'll usually always go over this, getting anywhere from 170 to 200 plus grams of protein per day because I like how full and satisfied a higher protein diet makes me feel, which protein is proven to do. A high protein diet is proven to do that. All right, on to step 2 is sleep. This is so slept on. But if you want to be successful, you're going to have to prioritize this. Even if you don't care about being so much successful in your weight loss journey, if you just want to make this easier on yourself and less stressful, you're going to want to prioritize this. Being sleep deprived even for 1 day is going to make you less satisfied and full eating a meal that would satisfy you, say, yesterday or the day before that. You're also going to obviously be tired, so you're going to be less likely to cook a healthy, nutritious meal that fits for your goals and rather just opt for a huge peanut butter sandwich in my case. That's what I would do, or fast food. That wouldn't maybe fit for your goals for that day. Or maybe you end up overeating just because you don't care because you're so tired, right? All these things could happen just because you're sleep deprived. So set a schedule that you can get at least 6 hours of sleep. If not, maybe 7, 8, or 9 would be more optimal depending on the person, right? And then if you want the best results possible, your weekend schedule won't differ from the weekday more than 2 or 3 hours. So if you go to bed around 9 or 10 p.m. on the weekday, you shouldn't be going to bed at 2 or 3 a.m. on the weekend. That's just going to make it harder on yourself to get into a nice routine. Step 3 is going to be steps, walking, or just any type of movement. I'm not talking to any nurses or people that walk a ton at their job. This doesn't really apply to. This is for people like me who sit at their desk all day and do work or just live a sedentary lifestyle. This is for you. This is crucial. Yes, it's going to help a bit with the weight loss, but it's also going to help with your overall health, your mental health, and your heart health, right? And it's also a super sustainable form of exercise that you can continue into old age. This is literally going to improve your mental well-being in the first 5 minutes you start doing it. 10 to 40 minutes a day or 7,000 to 12,000 steps a day, whichever one you have, right? If you have something that tracks steps, obviously aim for that 7 to 12K. 7K is a win still, by the way. You don't have to get 12K every day. I definitely don't. But if you don't have something to track steps, just use a time for 10 to 40 minutes. After that, just like your sleep schedule, you should schedule when you're going to do this each day so you can hold yourself accountable to that. I schedule it right when I wake up because I like waking up that way, but also I don't trust myself not to skip it if I don't do it right when I wake up. Step 4 is weight training. I have a ton of videos about weight training on my YouTube channel. I'll link some down below in the description. So I'm keeping this section super short. What you're gonna wanna do is weight train 3 to 4 times per week. We could go through all the health benefits like preventing osteoporosis, but if you wanna look aesthetic, sexy, toned, fit, athletic, or you wanna feel that way as well, this is literally what's going to do that for you. I guess helped tremendously actually because it's mental too, right? And then again, I'll link below a playlist that I made with the best exercises for each muscle group to do in the gym. Step 5 is gonna be food choices. So we know how many calories and protein you're gonna be eating, but what food are you gonna be eating? 90% of my diet, or maybe like 80% of my diet is gonna be whole, minimally processed foods, lean protein sources, fruits, and vegetables. Now I'm not gonna go in depth in this video about every meal, snack, etc. that I'm gonna be having. I'm gonna give some examples, but what I'm going to be doing is documenting a ton through this next 12 weeks of full days of eating here on YouTube, showing recipes, how to make them, the macronutrient breakdown, how many calories, and I'm going to change up how many calories I'm eating so it can help all of you, right? So some days maybe I'll be eating 2,300 calories, some days maybe 1,200 calories. Definitely not going to do that often, but I'll do that for one day to show you how you could hit a high protein goal while still eating 1,200 calories. And then of course I'll show some stuff on my Instagram story, maybe some reels and TikToks of full days of eating, but less in depth, like not showing how to make the recipes. But here I wrote down just some quick protein, carb, and fat sources that I'm going to be eating, so I'll just share those with you right now. This is going to be the majority, obviously not all, as you'll see in the coming weeks, but for protein powder bars, chicken breast, 93% lean ground beef, eggs and egg whites, beef sirloin and steak, and then for carbs, white rice, potatoes, bananas, and then excess fruit and veg, Greek yogurt, chickpea pasta, and then some fats, fish, nuts, nut butters, and any dairy products. That's the majority. Obviously that's not all, as you'll see in the coming weeks, but that's going to be the majority of what I'm doing. All right, now step 6, adjusting, sacrifice, and choosing an end date. I just wrote my end date right there, 1/6/22. We'll get to that in a minute. So first up, adjusting calories. You're gonna weigh yourself every single morning after using the bathroom. And then you're gonna record these weights in either MyFitnessPal or Google Sheets. I'd recommend using Google Sheets because it's gonna be easier to take the averages. And then every single week, you're gonna extract the average, right? So let's say you got 7 weigh-ins, you had a great week, you weighed in every day and remembered every day. You're gonna add those all up, divide by 7, right? Take the average, and then you're gonna compare those every single week, right? You're not gonna compare daily weigh-ins. You're going to compare weekly averages so that you could be getting the best results possible. If you're losing on average 0.5 to 1.5 pounds per week on average while being 80 to 90% consistent, don't change anything. That is amazing progress. By the way, 80 to 90% consistent is being on track 6 out of every 7 days of a week. Now let's say that didn't happen. Let's say you went over your calories multiple times in the week, even twice. What you're not going to do is decrease calories. You're just going to increase your consistency the next week. Let's say you don't want to listen to that advice, right? Let's say you continuously are perfect Monday through Friday, but you're overeating on Saturday and Sunday. So every week you're just decreasing your calories, but you're not solving the issue of trying to increase your consistency and seeing what's going wrong on the weekends, right? All that's going to do is create yo-yo dieting, a binge restrict cycle, and an unhealthy relationship with food. So please don't do that. Now, let's say you were 80 to 90% consistent, right? And you overate by like 200 calories one day. And on average, that week compared to last week, let's say you lost 0.4 pounds. Now, you could keep it the same if you want to and see what happens next week. Or if you're trying to be a little bit more aggressive, you can drop calories by 50 to 150. Let's quickly talk about sacrifice. If you've ever tried to go on a diet or lose fat or lose weight or anything like that, I'm sure you've had family members that have told you just eat the cake, it's not a big deal. What are you doing? Why can't you eat that? If you want the best results possible in a timely manner, you're going to need to sacrifice some things. Just like if you want to party 24/7, you're going to need to sacrifice some things, your health. Now, you can absolutely drink alcohol and eat out in moderation and get great results. But if you want the fastest results possible, I'd recommend completely cutting out alcohol for your fat loss phase and keeping eating out to 1, 2, 3 times max. Most trainers and coaches won't tell you this because they want to be liked by you, but I'd rather tell you what you need to hear rather than what you want to hear. So if you're just going and getting fucked up every single weekend, going completely over your calories, drinking a ton, you're not going to get good results and you're going to be seriously frustrated with how hard this is for you and how little results you're making. Remember, sacrifice is good. It's not always a bad thing. Always remember to not give up what you want most, whatever this end goal for you is, right? The end result, the end transformation. Don't give that up for what you want now. Maybe a huge fucking pizza, right? Just have one slice. All right, now let's talk about cheating yourself and lying to yourself. If you're lying and cheating to yourself about what's happening every week, you're not going to get good results, and the only person you're going to be hurting, unfortunately, is you. Be brutally honest with yourself each and every week, and use failures or slip-ups as learning experiences so that you can prepare for future of them, right? Like if you're consistent, like we just talked about, if you're consistently overeating on the weekends every single weekend, maybe do some calorie cycling. I'll link a calorie cycling, how to set up calorie cycling down below in the description, where you have less calories during the week, but more calories on the weekend to better fit your lifestyle. Or maybe you're gonna need to practice a little bit more of saying no to yourself and sacrifice, right? Something else that can help is using a consistency calendar. I made a whole video on that. I'll also link that down below in the description. I'm using it right here. I'm gonna use it during the entire 12 weeks, and I got that from Jordan Saya. I really love that idea. Now, end date. Mine's going to be January 6th, 2022. Now, why is this important? You might overlook this like, okay, fucking end date. Why does that matter? End date is a light at the end of the tunnel. This is so crucial, right? So I'm doing this for 12 weeks, absolutely maximum. Even if I don't reach my goal body weight of like 165, 170, I'm stopping after 12 weeks. After that, I'll take a break for 1 month minimum. During this break, I'll decide if I want to keep cutting after the break, stay at maintenance, or maybe go into a surplus. This is where the problem happens if you don't set an end date. You leave the possibility for like your inner bitch, your inner sissy to say to yourself, oh, it's okay to make justifications for cheating and going over on your calories every single weekend or even every day, because you always keep telling yourself, it's okay, I have all this time to make this transformation, I can keep cheating and get back on track tomorrow. Even if you just do that once, it's gonna become a slippery slope and you'll keep doing it. I've definitely been there myself before, and it sucks because you don't see it happening until months or weeks after, and you look back and reflect on what was happening. So set a mandatory end date to your deficit. All right, if you made it this far, I appreciate you, and I can tell that you're serious as fuck about losing fat and making an amazing transformation. You're doing everything you can to educate yourself, so I know you're not just gonna be trying to lose weight this time. I see you more as I'm gonna make an amazing transformation and let no inevitable obstacle that I face stop me from doing that. That's how I see you. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and comment below something that scares you. For me, that's spiders or running out of coffee.